Welcome to the Get Your Mind Right podcast. Every day, I want to be the first voice inside of your head, the first voice that motivates you to move. I put out these powerful segments every single day because I know the truth. The truth is that when you change your mind, you change your life. So let me, Ryan Stewman, the hardcore closer, get your mind right. All right, let's talk about phases. Right? Everybody says, oh, when you're young, it's like, oh, he's going through a phase. I know I went through a gangster phase, and then I went through a banker phase, and I went through a religious phase. But really, what is a phase? If you think about it, like when you get in trouble and say, oh, that didn't even phase them. A phase is a distraction. A phase is something that you're not. A phase is something in life where you say you're going through a phase. That means that it's a time when you weren't who you were supposed to be. Most people don't think about it that way, but they think, oh man, it didn't even phase him. It means it didn't even take him off track. It didn't even take him from what he was supposed to be doing to where we wanted him to do. Oh man, we hit him in the face, didn't even phase him. Oh man, I kicked him in the nuts, it didn't even phase him. But see, we go through phases our whole life, and we think that we're supposed to go through phases. We think we're supposed to go through this phase and that phase, but we're supposed to be faced forward and continue to go in the same direction. And phases are distractions. So when you find yourself going through a phase, you look back and you say, man, I went through a phase where I was a punk rocker. Man, I went through a phase where I was a convict. I went through a phase where I was reading a book every day. I went through a phase where I was doing this. It's not that you went through phases. You went through distractions. You see, what most people don't understand is every day we're faced with thousands upon thousands upon thousands of distractions. Matter of fact, in just advertising distractions alone every day, we face 4,000 distractions. That's right, 4,000 different advertisements jockeying for your attention every day. And you might not let some of those advertisements phase you. But some of them will put you in a phase where you go through a phase where you're shopping on Amazon, buying stuff instead of doing the job that you want to. You go through a phase where you're sleeping in and you're not putting the energy towards your job. Do you realize that every day, even if I've been out partying till 2 a.m., I'm up by 5 a.m. at the latest without an alarm clock? That's not a phase. That's a lifelong faced determination because I am faced forward. I am not phased. You see, I know this. When you do get phased and you do get distracted, it's taking you off of your game. You've fallen victim to the force of average. You were put here on this planet for a reason, and if you go through a phase, you're distracted and you're off of the path of that reason. And anytime that you're distracted, you're off the path of that reason, you're losing your purpose. Anytime you lose your purpose, you lose your confidence. Anytime you lose your confidence, you lose your energy. Anytime you lose your energy, you lose your will to win. And anytime you lose your will to win, it's because you're distracted and not focused, and it is a terrible path to go down. Do not let anything phase you. They used to say in the Tupac, y'all can't phase me. You can't phase me. Because he was focused, man. He was focused on delivering his word. He was focused on delivering his truth. He was focused on living the thug life. That was what he was destined to do, he felt, in his life. And it wasn't no phase with him. It was an all-in decision. You know, you're called to live a certain way too. You know, I was called to live a certain way too. I'm a street preacher. If you think about it, if you break down what these sermons are that you get every day, we Get Your Mind Right. They're street sermons. They're no different than me standing up in the middle of the hood and talking some real shit to try to change some people that have broken souls and mend them. This isn't a phase for me. I won't look back 10 years from now and say, damn, for 20 years, I went through a phase where I was trying to help people. I'm living a purpose. There's a different word that starts with a P in my life. I'm living a purpose. I'm not going through a phase. This isn't a phase where I wanted to be a businessman. This isn't a phase where I wanted to have an office. I've been dreaming of this shit and focused on this shit since I was 16 years old. So this week, tomorrow, today, when you go into the marketplace and things try to phase you, things try to distract you, things try to take you off of your game, face them, motherfuckers. Don't be fazed by them, motherfuckers, and go face the things that you need to do and stay face forward, focused. Because you can't be fazed. You can't. If you're focused and you're fighting distractions, you can't be fazed. Therefore, you won't go through phases. Therefore, you'll face forward and go where you're supposed to go in life. And that's what matters. That's what you're put here to do. So if you know somebody who's going through a phase right now and they need to get out of them, and you need to make sure that you get them out of that phase and say, hey, man, you can't be fazed by this shit. Send this to them. Send them a direct message, an email, post it on social media. tag somebody. Make sure you leave me a review over on iTunes. Make sure you go check out the free video. We're taking applications for people who want to work directly with me. Imagine you get little 5-minute snippets every day from me. Imagine if you work with me personally, and it's not as expensive as you think. For less than, right now at the time that I'm recording this, for less than $10 a day, you can have me on your team and my team on your team. You go over to BFA, that's Break Free Academy Entourage, BFAentourage.com. Check out what I've got waiting for you over there. We'll catch you on the next episode.